Now can you guys hear me? If anybody can hear me now, let me know. That would be great. I think I fixed it. I hope I fixed it. Oh, hold on. Okay, wonderful. So we're good. We're good to go. Okay, quarterbacks, I'll just mention them. I won't go over them to make this podcast go faster. Quarterback, Baker Mayfield versus the Dallas Cowboys. High-paced game. I mean, should be a shootout. Should be good. They're not going to be able to just run the ball on the Cowboys. They can, but if it's a possible shootout, Baker Mayfield would be a good stream. My favorite one is Ryan Fitzpatrick facing the Seattle Seahawks. Definitely going to be playing him as a streaming quarterback. The third one against in the Seattle Seahawks could be a shootout. You know, Seahawks are allowing 440 yards passing per game. Kirk Cousins, my third quarterback, bounced back last week at 251 yards for 3 touchdowns, allowing 19.1 points per game at quarterback. Okay, now let's just jump into running backs. Running back, we have Myles Gaskin, Dolphin running back. I've ignored him now for a while. I'm kind of regretting it now, but he's getting a lot of the workload. He handled about 75% of the snaps last week for running back and 85% of the running market share. So therefore, he's going to be my top ad of the week at running back. I'm willing to spend $22 out of a $200 fab budget if he's available. Maybe more, maybe 40 if I'm desperate at running back. I love Gaskin this week. I'm going to add him. There's not a lot on the waiver wire, guys, so pick your spot, you know. Jeff Wilson, number 2, 49ers. McKinnon got hurt. We're looking for running back, you know. So if McKinnon's hurt and Mostert doesn't play this week, he's week to week. They still haven't announced if he's going to play. I wouldn't be shocked if the 49ers got Mostert another week, but Jeff Wilson will be a priority pick for me. I would spend maybe like $10 on him. You know, just I'm going week to week here now. Like, you're not gonna, with COVID-19 coming and injuries piling up, you gotta think week to week for now. The fourth running back, everybody wants him. It's Rex Burkhead, but I have another running back that I want ahead of him, right next to him. So it's 4A, 4B. Okay, 4A is Rex Burkhead. He had a great game last week. 13 touches, 98 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and he saw 10 targets. Yes, that was against the Raiders. But the thing is, James White should be back, could return to the team soon. Tony Michel's still there. Don't spend too much money. He is an ad, but don't go crazy on him. The guy I do want, and I'm willing to spend a little bit, and hopefully, if I think it's going to happen, what I want to happen, Tony Michel, Rex Burkhead have both been abysmal at yards per carry right now. And I know that's a metric that everybody hates. But there's a metric that I believe that's a metric that Bill Belichick doesn't hate. He wants his running back to get yards per carry because that's the way the Patriots play. They run the clock down, they score touchdowns in the red zone, and they play smash mouth defense. And that guy that's going to help them out there is Damian Harris. He's going to be activated off the IR. And I want Damian Harris. I want to get him on my roster, on my bench. And hopefully it pans out. Maybe he's a better running back. They had draft capital on him last year, and they were talking him up in the offseason. Definitely like Damian Harris. Damian Harris, I think is his name. Jeez. The next guy is Adrian Peterson. It looks like Matt Patricia, well, he's not going to get fired anytime soon, so Adrian Peterson is the guy back there. You can be confident in spending some money on him, but don't go over crazy. If he's still on your waiver wire, add him, put him on your bench, maybe start him in a flex. It looks like he's going to be the guy. Now, I want to talk about Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde is a great ad, but I want more report on this Chris Carson injury. this feels like the Devontae Freeman of last week, but I actually like Carlos Hyde a lot. If I get news that Carlos Hyde, that Chris Carson is out or not going to play for a couple weeks, which I believe so, I'm willing to spend 20% of my budget on Carlos Hyde. I like him a lot. He's going to be, actually, I lied to you guys, he's going to be like a number 2 out of the week this week, next to Myles Gaskin. So put Carlos Hyde up there. I apologize about that. I don't know why I had this ranked like this. But Carlos Hyde's up there. He suffered a leg injury. We all know that. Chris Carson, they twisted his leg very bad, and that guy should get suspended or fired or something, Fuck that guy. But definitely Carlos Hyde. Carson handled 62% of the touches and to this point. So I can see this being a good ad with a really nice offense. The other two guys I want to mention is Anthony McFarland. He was getting touches, and if you're in a deep league, he's worth an ad. Benny, he got more touches than Benny Snell, so he definitely are worth a stash. And this guy was drafted pretty high too. I think in the 4th round, I believe, 3rd round. I like McFarland. And Connor, he's fragile. He's of glass. He's made out of glass. The next guy I want to talk about is Alexander Madison. He definitely an ad for me this week if he's available. I doubt he is, but if he's not, then pick him up because Dalvin Cook tweaked his ankle last week, and we know Dalvin Cook, he's not the strongest. He's pretty fragile. At wide receiver, now let's go to wide receivers. Allen Lazard is my number 1 priority pick right now. If he's still available out there, add him. We talked about him last week. He should have not been available, but for sure, Allen Lazard. The next guy is Justin Jefferson. We talked about him earlier on. He broke out, 7 for 175 and a touchdown. And he looks like, he finally maybe just got away from what do you call it? Mini camp. I think that's what we call it, right? Training camp, preseason. He hasn't been playing he played, but he just hasn't broken out. He hasn't done much. And now he, boom, has a big game. And now we want him against, he faced the Titans and bad defense, but add Justin Jefferson. I don't think this is going to be just, it's going to be a good depth bench player and maybe starter, maybe a wide receiver 3. 3rd wide receiver is Preston Williams. He didn't get a lot of opportunities in the last game, but he made the best of it. He caught both of his targets for 7 yards and a touchdown. The yards will come, guys. You guys got to believe it, but it's going to happen this week. I believe facing the Seahawks, it's going to be a shootout. And Preston Williams could have a big game. This could be his breakout game. I would put some money on it. On Justin Jefferson, I would spend $25. On Lazard, I definitely spend like $30, $35. Because if Devontae Adams out for a while, that's going to help. Preston Williams, $15 to $10. My next guy is T. Higgins, the Bengals. John Ross was a surprise inactive. I love T. Higgins coming out of college. He's a very dynamic player, 220 pounds, very tall. Remind me a little bit of how do you say this? Not T.O. I'm trying to think of someone else I can compare him to. Kind of like DeAndre Hopkins, but a little bigger, obviously. No, not DeAndre. I can't compare. Andre Johnson, maybe? But John Ross, he was healthy scratch. That was crazy. But Higgins, Higgins trailed on Ross in snap percentage 47 to 53% and targets 6 to 7. Higgins quickly, Joe Burrow loved him. Connected with 2 touchdowns, 5 for 42 touchdowns and 9 targets. I think this is going to be a very heavy script offense. I think they're going to be passing the ball a lot, and they're going to be playing from behind a lot. So I like T. Higgins as an ad on my bench. Going to be adding him. Brandon Ayuk is my 5th wide receiver. Yes, I get it. Why not Ayuk higher? Not that interested in him. Jimmy Garoppolo not what he's he's injured, and then last week we saw they just ran the ball a lot and played defense. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel coming back by week 5. Yeah, sure, you can put him, you can stash him. I don't know if I'm willing to start him week in, week out when I think there's better positional players out there. If you're really desperate, then yeah, pick him up. I mean, he got 101 yards, scored a touchdown, 49 win, but it was against the Giants. Ayuk led the team with 8 targets, catching 5 for his 70 yards, and he scored his touchdown on a rushing attempt. So that was last week. Let's see. All these other wide receivers I'm going to name, they're going to be wide receivers you're going to want to pick up if you're in a deep league, or put them on your watch list. The number one guy I'm looking at, I'm keeping an eye out for, is Chase Claypool, then Greg Ward, Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller's probably already picked up. Andy Isabella, Golden Tate if he's available. Hunter Renfrow, I'm really interested in him today. They came out that Brian Edwards is hurt and that Henry Rugg is likely heading to the IR, I believe, or he's on the IR. He's out for the week already. But Hunter Renfrow really interests me for a PPR league. I'll be adding him to Randall Cobb, KJ Hamler, Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis, guys, you guys got to remember that name because he can be special down the year. If one of, well, it looks like John Brown hurt, so keep these guys on your watch list. I do apologize. I would have Hunter Renfrow in my wide receiver ad for sure. I spend like $10 to $15 in a $200 fab, maybe 15 to 10%. You know. The next position we have is tight end. Number one guy I want to add, if it's available, is Eric Ebron. Deontay Johnson left with a concussion. Ebron saw 7 targets, caught 5 of them for 53 yards and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson was just placed on the protocol for concussion. If he's out, he's going to be a good pickup. I spend like $3 or $5. I wouldn't go crazy on him. Probably put him on low-end streamer against the Titans, you know. Don't Goat. I like Goat. Getting targeted a lot. Standing as the 4th and 5th or 6th passing in the passing game as an option, and he's still getting targeted. He had 9 catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown, but Goat saw 6 targets and caught 4 of them in week 3. I think there's value to be had here. People don't realize, but the Cowboys' defense is awful, so, well, they do realize that, but it's more awful than people think. It's going to help the pass catchers for the Cowboys to get some exposure. And Dalton Schultz could be a very cheap ad, maybe add him on waiver or trade for him. Well, don't trade for a lot, but another guy I've been talking about him the last 3 weeks, the whole season, and he's still lowly owned. It's Logan Thomas. While he hasn't done much with his target, he is getting targeted, and he's getting targeted in the red zone. I believe, and this is my opinion, I believe Dwayne Haskins will be benched after this game. He had a bad game, and what's his name? Case Keenum will come in, and it'll help all the wide receivers and tight end. And Case Keenum, when he played with the Vikings, he targeted Rudolph a lot. So I like Logan Thomas as an ad. Keep him on your bench. All right, let's look at our streamer defense of the week. It is Arizona Cardinals versus the Panthers. Yeah, Panthers, they're not great, guys. Trust me. Arizona Cardinals are available out there quite a bit. Philadelphia Eagles versus the 49ers. Seattle versus the Dolphins. And yes, the Denver Broncos versus the Jets. If any of those defenses are available, my number one would be Denver versus the Jets. Every week it'll be anybody facing the Jets. That's going to be your number one defense you want to add. But I would rank them Broncos, Cardinals, Seahawks, Philadelphia. But looking ahead for next week, guys, add the Arizona Cardinals right now because they're going to be good for the next 2 weeks. And next week, guess who they're facing? The New York Jets. So I would put Arizona Cardinals probably ahead. So Broncos, Cardinals, Seahawks, Eagles. All right, some of my sell high candidates that I want to sell high is one of them is Juju Smith-Schuster. His market share and target share are not what you want it to be. If I can sell high on him right now, with his touchdown that he's getting, he's not always going to get those touchdowns, guys. He's going to have up and down game. Those touchdowns can come, but if he's not getting the targets, he's not getting the reception, he's not going to be that wide receiver 1, wide receiver low end or high end wide receiver 2 you want. And that guy is funny because I'm coming right back to him. It's James Conner. This guy is about to break down. And we saw that Anthony McFarland got touched, Benny Snell's get touched, James Conner. I mean, yes, he had a great game last week, but one of them was a big run. I would keep an eye out on my value for him. If I could, I'd go around my league and see, hey, anybody interested in James Conner or, who needs running back, go make him an offer that you can get equal value or better value. After that, it's Keenan Allen. Allen had a big game. He scored 7 points in week 1, and then the last 2 games when Herbert came, Allen had combined a 46 PPR point. Sell him high while you can, because if Tyrod Taylor comes back and he starts, then we're not going to get the Keenan Allen we got with Justin Herbert. Make sure you get equal value or better value. Guys that I want to buy Will Fuller. Will Fuller, he's one of those wide receivers that either boom or bust, but in the last 3, I don't know who set up the Texans schedule, but they must have hated Bill O'Brien, the person he is and everything, but Bill O'Brien just got the bad end. The Texans got the bad end of it. They had a really tough schedule, starting with Kansas City, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, but now they get to face Minnesota, Jacksonville Jaguars, Tennessee, and Green Bay before Week 8. Those are great matchup. Not only am I buying low on Will Fuller, but I'm buying low on Deshaun Watson too. Buy Deshaun Watson right now. If the guy that has Deshaun Watson is not happy with performing, maybe throw him a quarterback and throw in a wide receiver or a small running back. See what you can get for Deshaun Watson. My next guy is Joe Mixon. Yes, guys, I get it. He hasn't had like a great game this whole season. But these are the times you take advantage of a starting running back, of a premier running back that is a first two round value. Go see what his value is. Buy him now before he blows up. The offensive line is just, they're not clicking. And what's his name? Bernard is stealing his wide receiver or his PPR usage. But sooner or later, he's going to break out. That offense is getting a little better. Burrow needs to make better passes, though. But I think they'll get this running. See what Joe Mixon's price is. If you can buy him low, then buy him. With that being said, guys, I do apologize about the audio. It was a setting on the studio. It actually wasn't my stuff. That's the best part. So I was worried for a second. But tune in next week. And we'll go over week 5. Holy crap. Almost a month into the season already, guys. But before that, guys, I'm telling you this. I want you guys to listen to this. Stay calm. COVID-19 season is here. It's going to happen. And when it does, we're all going to flip out. But if you do your waiver wire, if you guys check it out, if Le'Veon Bell is on my waiver wire and is eligible to play week 5, should I pick him up? Yes, you can pick him up and stash him for sure. It happened to me in one of my leagues. Unfortunately, that league, my brother was in it, and he was smart enough to pick him up. And I was so pissed because I put probably it's a $500 fab budget. I put $95 and he put $250. He blew half of his load on Le'Veon Bell. So, yeah, I would definitely pick Le'Veon Bell up. He would be the number 1 waiver out of everybody. Justin, thank you for helping me out, man. That was good stuff. But I do apologize about the audio. I think we got the audio back at the 19-minute mark. So let me make sure I put it on a note. Man, can I put a note on this? Nope. Well, I'll let Jeff know. Right, guys. Join my Facebook group, the Fantasy G Podcast / DFS Roundtable, FanDuel, and DraftKings. Add me on Twitter. At the Fantasy G Pod right here on the screen if you can't see it. And that's it for all my future champs into week 5. Hope you guys all win your waiver claims and you win this week. Peace out.